Hello everyone, my name is Arlane, and this is the final part of my 5-part series of how I made closer parentheses change your mind. If this is more than 5 parts, I'm sorry about that, but I could double check later. Anyways, this is my mastering. I do it in a separate project because I like to. This saves the CPU, and I like to do it in a separate project. And I basically export a 24-bit wave and put it in here. And first off, I gotta explain this because this is all really important. But in order to explain this, I'm just gonna turn this off because I haven't explained any other mastery yet. So what I do here is I actually decreased the breakdown volume by 3 decibels both of them, and then this one I don't decrease it because it's basically a drop without sidechain. But I did this to make sure this is a bit quieter in the drop, so the drop has more impact. And then what I did here in the build-up, I did several different things. So the first thing I did was I decreased the volume slightly, like 1.5 dB, and then I put it back all the way to 80 in the drop, so the drop is way louder. And then for stereo separation, I basically made the song more mono as the drop comes, so it's at 70% about, and this makes it so the drop sounds wider. And then I have an EQ. I basically did an automation where it doesn't activate, where it's like not in the buildup, because I don't really want to have this really low and really high cut. You could deal with that later in the mastering, so I decided to not have it anywhere else but the buildup. So with this, you basically reduce the lows or cut the lows and highs a tiny bit. As you can see, it's not that drastic. For here, I do around 180 hertz, and for the highs, I do around 12.5 kHz. And this helps to make the drop more powerful because you bring up the lows and highs. And then for the reverb, I did the same kind of automation here, just activate it only on the buildup because it's a reverb. You don't really want to have a reverb everywhere. And then as you can see, this is pretty extreme, but also it's only going up a tiny bit, so I'll explain it a bit later. But I have no low high cut. I have 100% size, no damping, 20 seconds of decay. So as you can see, it increased the reverb slightly. It only goes up to about 35% here because you can see this reverb is pretty extreme, so you don't want it that much. And I bring it back all in the drop, so the drop sounds a bit drier, so it sounds bigger and fatter and fuller. So I will explain. So I'll play before and after. So this is before. Like you just hear the drops, it doesn't sound that powerful. And then with this, the drop sounds way more powerful, so it's good to have this stuff in the build-ups. I also didn't suck a build-up as well, as you can see. Alright, so now we're going to start the actual mastering. So first off, I had a patcher with 2 different EQs because I needed enough room to do this. So the first EQ is a low and high cut 30 Hz and a 16 kHz. It's good to do this in the mastering because you don't really want these frequencies. Like you won't really hear them anyway, so it's good to cut them. And also it allows you to boost the limiter more, so that's good. And I increase resonance a tiny bit. Be super careful with this. I do it only on the really loud frequencies that are super, super loud, so be careful with it. And then for this one, I just decrease the highs, lows a tiny bit, and increase the highs a tiny bit, just slightly. It makes it a bit brighter. So I'm just gonna play with them without. As you can hear, it sounds a bit cleaner, and actually, this time I decided to add OTT. I don't really do this usually on mastering, but this made it a bit brighter, so I'm just gonna do before and after. As you can hear, it sounds a bit brighter, and then with the patcher, this is a stereo separation, and you can find it in these presets. This is a 3-band stereo separation, that one. So with this, I made the song a bit wider in mid and highs, and made it a bit more mono and low, so that's what it sounds with and without. It's not super noticeable, but it makes a big difference. Or it makes it a bit stereo. And that's a big difference, but it makes it a bit more stereo. And with the compressor, I basically decreased or compressed like 1 or 2 dBs to make sure the limiter doesn't have to work as hard. As you can hear, it only decreased the volume a bit. And then the EQ, I decreased the mids a bit and increased the highs a bit. And I did a low high cut again at 30 to 60 Hz, like I explained this already. It's good to increase here because this is the average range of the human voice, and when you increase here, your song will be way louder, so it's good to increase there. And then I now have two Ozone 9 elements, and this is the final thing of the mastering. So with the first one, I basically put on Master Assistant, and I basically played the first drop, and it EQ'd for me. I also had this maximizer, but I decided to turn it off because I didn't want to hear. This increased the mids and decreased the highs a tiny bit, and so makes it a bit fatter. So you can hear it's a bit fatter. And then with this second one, I turn on the full master preset, and I have an equalizer where I decrease the mids a bit and increase the highs a bit in a mid-side kind of sort of way. I don't really know how this works, but it sounds really good, so it's good. And then the imager, it makes the song a tiny bit more stereo, not that much at all. You see, it's only like 10%. And then the maximizer, I put this up all the way, and then and the ceiling's at 0 dB, so it doesn't go above that. And then I turned on the threshold until the song went to 4.5 RMS in loudness. So it's gonna get super loud, so volume warning. So yeah, that's basically what the mastering. So I could also show you this in the Unity Lattice Meter. This is a free plugin that's really good in my opinion. Oh, and also I'm just gonna show this in span. That's the frequency spectrum, and this is what the loudness is. As you can see, it's at around 5 decibels. You want to go around 4.5 to 6.5, or make it 4.655 decibels in progressive house, because that's the ideal loudness in my opinion. So that's it. And then what I do here is I'm going to show you this. I've already done this, so I'm not going to do it again. But I would export it as a WAV file. I'm just going to add a 1 here because to make sure it actually works properly. And what I do here is I cut remainder. Oh, I recommend you actually, before you do this, hit Control A to select everything. To make sure you actually cut off the song where you want to. And you go up here, export WAV file. And this, I usually put on MP3. I put on 320 kilobytes per second. I put the wave on 24-bit. Resampling sound 512. I say tempo information, trim PDC sounds. This basically removes all sounds at the beginning. And it will insert master effects, and I hit start. But I'm not going to do it now, obviously, because I already did it. And yeah, that's it for the mastering. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. I had a lot of fun recording it. And there's a playlist with all the videos in the description below. And I also have a fan link to the song in the description below if you want to check it out. It's also here on my channel. And yeah. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment your feedback or whatever. I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed the series, and I'll see you guys whenever I decide to make another video. Bye.